Well, class of 2020, we made it. But when I say we made it, I'm not just saying that because every person who has ever given a big speech at graduation is obligated to say stuff like, we're all in this together, or don't stop believing. Because, in all honesty, I think our class has heard those phrases so much more than we wanted to in the past couple of months. So when I say we made it, I'm saying it for a reason. Let me tell you why. All throughout my senior year, I've been waiting for the moment. And when I say the moment, I don't mean that time where you're supposed to flip the switch from let's get into college mode to senioritis mode. I mean, I've been waiting for the moment where it's supposed to hit you. That fraction of a second where you realize that high school, well, I guess not just high school, but your entire childhood is over. And for me, in the beginning, the closest thing that I got to it was when I would drive home every day and open up TikTok. When I would do this, of course, I would every now and then see one of my classmates trying to get clout. But also, I would hear the screen playing this song sometimes. And the screen would say something like, seniors, class of 2020. Right now, it's just a regular school day. But one day, you're going to look back on a normal day like this and wish you were back in the good old days with all your friends. And to my surprise, that statement became true way earlier than I thought that it would. On March 12th, I didn't expect that day to be any different than the next. On that Thursday, I planned to wake up at 6:30, way too early, like I usually do, cram for the physics test I had 11th period, and do it all over again the next day. But as I drove home from school, with my car full of the books that were supposed to be in my locker, it was announced that because of the coronavirus, all Ohio schools would be closed for 3 weeks, and maybe indefinitely. At first I thought, just as I'm sure all of our seniors did, that this was the greatest thing in the world. For 3 weeks, I would get to do all my favorite things, like hang out with my friends, eat at a restaurant, and always be in a group of 10 people or more. Well, spoiler alert, that's exactly what didn't happen. Asking to see my friends became an immediate no from my parents, and what was supposed to be my spring break trip to Italy turned into frequent trips to Walmart with my mom. As seniors, we had to watch as school closures were extended to April, May, and the rest of our senior year. We saw schools across the nation cancel proms, senior trips, graduations, and through all of that, we were left with a feeling that, especially in our senior year, we thought we'd never have. We missed school. Now, graduates, let's be real here. At one point or another, during your 4 years of Padua, you said something like, I hate school and I wish I could just go home. But as I sat in my house, quarantined, and missing out on my senior year, there was nothing that I wanted to do more than go to Padua and see my friends. That was when it finally hit me. That was when I realized that the important moments of our year, like prom and grad, were in jeopardy. And there was a real possibility that everything we had worked so hard for had ended on a random Thursday in March. Talk about anticlimactic, right? But out of all of this, us seniors, we found something truly important, that while the world still is ramping up testing, trying to find a vaccine, we figured out that a global pandemic is the best cure for senioritis. Who would have thought? And as a class of 2020, I can go on and on about all the things that were different for us, or all the things that we didn't get to do. But I know you guys would rather just get your diplomas and get out of here than hear another person complain about this year. So I think instead, we should thank all of the people who made our senior year something truly special. First off, ladies and gentlemen, our Padua teachers, faculty, and staff, they not only stepped up for us by teaching us and helping us at such an unprecedented time, but while they were doing that, they had to navigate through their new jobs at the prestigious University of MyPad. But most importantly, they continued to bring joy in our lives by writing us letters, bringing us yard signs, making us videos, goodbye videos that made you want to cry at 3 in the afternoon. But most importantly, at the end of our senior year, they made sure that we were together. So to all the Padua teachers, faculty, and staff, and especially to you, Mr. Stec, thank you for not giving up on us. And thank you for shaping us into the men and women that we are today. Because I think for that, they should be the ones receiving the highest of awards. Next, seniors, our families, parents, and everyone watching us from home are the people who've put up with us for the last 18 years. I'd like to give a big shout out to all my family watching in Muntinlupa in the Philippines, Norway, Singapore, and in Toronto, especially my Tita King. But most importantly, our parents, they're the reasons that you can all call yourselves Padua Bruins. And that means they're the reason for 4 years worth of memories, CFOs, Olympic days, so much. They decided to send you to Padua, so they're the reason for everything. So thank you. Mom, Dad, Kuya, I wanted to take this moment during my speech to specifically thank you. But while I was thinking of what I wanted to say, I kept on writing and deleting over and over and over again until I realized that there's nothing that I can say that will ever equate to the life that you've given me. Kuya, you've taught me to embrace who you are and to never go through life feeling blue. Dad, you've shown me how to be a leader and how to write a pretty good dang speech. And Mom, because you've worked hard in America, you show me living proof of what it looks like to live the American dream. Sana proud kayo na yung gabi dahil habang buhay kitang ikararanggal. Pag-oshipta, porahe, at saka mahal na mahal kita. Now, seniors, I can assure you that when you look back on your senior year, at least at the end of it, some of it includes sitting at home and waiting until that exact moment to join that Zoom meeting. But look around you. The seniors sitting next to you, they're the people you've grown up with. So tonight is not just about graduating, but it's also about thanking them for all of the memories that they gave you. For me, I couldn't stand up here without saying thank you to one person in particular. 4 years ago, I went to the incoming freshman social, and that night, one girl introduced herself to me, saying her name was Emily Nisgoda. And after that, we've been friends ever since. But during our freshman year, we sat by each other at the senior awards ceremony, where we heard the salutatorian give her speech. And during it, she gave a shout out to her friend who said, "If you ever give a big speech at a graduation, give me a shout out." So later that day, during fifth lunch, Emily said to me, "If you ever give a big speech at a graduation, give me a shout out." So Emily, here's your shout out. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for all the memories. And thank you for being my first friend. Seniors, we all came into this world around 9/11, at a time when America and our country's way of life was attacked by terror, causing fear and worry about the future. Today we graduate during a global pandemic, and not only America, but the world too, has been ravaged with fear and worry. But although our lives have been outlined by tragic events like these times do not define the legacy of the class of 2020. So our legacy will be defined by what we do. As a class of 2020, we won't take anything for granted. We won't take for granted school, haircuts, eating in a restaurant, being within 6 feet of one another. But most importantly, we'll cherish important moments of our lives like tonight. But think about everything that we've accomplished these past 4 years. We've broken a couple records, become 3-time coin war champs. That's not something that time nor distance can take away from us. You know, the thing is, I'm supposed to stand up here and tell you that yes, the class of 2020 will be the future leaders of the world, creating change and becoming the next doctors, lawyers, and CEOs of the world. But with the seniors that we have, I don't even need to tell you about what great things that we're going to do with the rest of our lives. because the seniors sitting here today and the past 4 years of Padua are already a testament to the brilliant futures that we have ahead of us. We're the seniors that are surviving social distancing and online schooling. We're the seniors that are surviving a global pandemic. Most importantly, we're the seniors, we're the people who are not only going to see change in the world, but we're the ones who are going to make that change happen. I don't know about you guys, but that's a story that I'm going to want to tell my kids one day. So when I do tell my kids about the class of 2020, about this whole year, I'm going to tell them about the Padua Bruins. And I'm going to say that when we, as the class of 2020, say we made it, I'm going to say we made history. Thank you.